New year, new tier list. These are the most fun kill teams in 2025.
All right, so first of all, Happy New Year, everyone. Great to see you back. Since this is the new year, a lot of people are probably going to be picking up a new team and kind of digging into a new one for 2025. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it seems feasible. But anyway, so we're going to go through all of the teams. We've played them all, unfortunately. And we have some pretty strong thoughts on whether or not they are fun. And as with all of our tier lists and all of our videos, this is completely objective. So save your comments. Actually, leave them for the algorithm. Anyway, so we randomized the order because doing them in alphabetical order seemed tedious. So the very first one is the most recent kill team, and it's the Ratlings.
All right, you played these guys. I've played against them. Is this going to be highly colored by the fact that you've played one game with them and you lost?
Well,
spoilers.
If you like winning kill team games and you find winning to be fun, then this is not a fun team. But if you find like setting up a Rube Goldberg machine of hobbits with sniper rifles to be fun, then yeah, like I think it's a fun team because it's very unique. I think it's a fun team because they're like kind of funny and like it's fun to paint if you're into that sort of thing, and they have a very unique play style. I think it's also fun because your opponent will be having a great time.
I think they have a really cool aesthetic. Love the minis.
Yeah.
I think the Ogrins are like so cool.
Yep.
Their playstyle seems like I've never played them. Their playstyle seems like they're kind of like a complicated toolboxy type team, but also not really that toolboxy and also a bit tedious.
Yeah.
I would put them B.
Yeah, I think if they had a bit more movement or a bit more survivability, they could be higher, but B's fair.
Yeah. And keep in mind that they're locked in B forever. If you disagree, you're wrong.
Yeah, true.
So keep that in mind. Okay, second team, Void Dancers.
Oh.
I haven't like been in a game with them, but you played against them, right?
And as them.
Oh, you played as them too? Okay, I'll let you take this.
So yeah, I think Void Dancers are a really fun team. I think they were in the last edition, especially once they got nerfed. I thought bringing the power down brought the fun up, as always.
Yeah.
And I think they're in a really great spot for this edition right now. I think they have a lot of really fun tools. They've got kind of a little bit of everything, and that's really cool. You're definitely gonna win and lose some games with them. They're not a steamroller team, and I don't know.
I've seen some stats that say they're like winning left and right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't look at stats.
Yeah. Wow.
But I mean, like they've got, there's ways to play around them. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like Hyrotech where it feels like you can just play badly and win.
Yeah. Which I've done on camera.
Yeah, we all have. But anyway, I think that they're a very, very fun team. And if the Ratlings are B, I think they have to be higher than that. They're not the most fun thing in the world, but I'll give them an A.
Solid A?
Yeah.
Great, okay. Next up, we've got the Pathfinders, Victor. Have you had anything to do with them in this edition?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played them yet, but I've like dug through the rules, and I played them a fair bit last time.
Apparently they're really bad, right?
Yeah, they seem bad. But that's not really what we're talking about, right? Like, I think any dog has its day, and any team can win any matchup except for Breachers. And
I think little goat aliens that are also fish are cool. I think aesthetic, they're still like very high.
Absolutely. And like I think they are going to still do well on Beta Decima.
I actually think that because they're worse, because they're really bad competitively, I think they actually go up in this tier list.
100%. I agree. Like there's nothing worse than rolling up to a table and your opponent like giving up just by seeing the team you're playing.
I think you're going to have bad games all the time if you play last edition Pathfinders because your opponent's going to be salty before the game even starts. So 100%. They're obviously higher. Yeah. Obviously. Okay.
So I think they're great, but I still think that they're a bit clunky right now. Like the pieces don't really work together as well as they used to. Like it used to be such a synergistic team. And they've taken some of that away, and as that has reflected in the power level dropping, I think it's also removed some of the fun, just because like it works a little bit less. Mm-hmm. But they are still there's still a lot of fun tools, still a lot of great guns, and you got to be careful. You got to do a bit of hide and seek with them, which is still I think a fun way to play kill team.
I smell a B.
They're a B.
Okay, B. Okay, next up. I'll take this one.
Yeah.
We got the Hearthkin Salvagers.
Oof.
I've been playing these guys a lot in this edition. We joined a local league, and I've been playing some games there. The league's almost over. Maybe we'll do a video.
Yeah, I think we should.
Let us know in the comments if we should do a video, like, discussing our experience in the tournament, like, talking through our games. But anyway, Hearthkin, they're an S for me. This is my favorite team.
An S.
I freaking love them, dude. They're so fun. They're like the fun kind of toolbox. They've got like a fun mechanic where you just like get a lot of crits. But they're not like insane, you know? Like you can counter them. They have like the jump pack warrior can do kind of like a non-alpha strike,
Right.
but also like if your opponent's aware of it, you can play around it. It's still like it's not like you're instantly screwed.
Yeah.
It's not like Pathfinders where they were able to like run up the table and just destroy you. They do have, however, one thing, the Writ of Claim kind of lets you basically steal initiative one turn
I
potentially.
hate that.
So that's kind of like a negative. It's fun for you, but also it's like really not that fun.
Is it fun for you or is it just powerful for you?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So I think I gotta put them in S. If you dare say anything else, you're kicked out.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to be kicked out, but like I've only played against them and had no fun. But I guess that's not what we're talking about. So
Like you just get lots of crits. Even when you roll bad, you still roll good because you have accurate, you have rerolls, you have normals to crits, you have like obscuring denial, but you have to actually work for it. It's not just like free obscuring denial on your OP sniper.
right.
I think they're S tier.
All right.
Fight me. All right, what's next? Hernkin, the other dwarves are next. These are not S
They're not
for
S,
me,
yeah.
but I do think they're like high B or low A. I think, you know, a lot of their guns don't hit on what you want them to hit on, but you have ways to make them work. I think we saw in a recent battle report, the dead guy token is so fun. And I think like it's kind of thematic. Like you yeet a guy up, he dies, and then everyone else is mad.
Yeah.
I like that they found another thematic mechanic about the dwarves having grudges that aren't grudge tokens.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. I think the models are really cool. Some of their ploys are kind of boring. Super Conceal is not particularly fun because it just like incentivizes not rolling dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think there are some serious points against them. I'll let you decide. My vote is either high B or low A.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're B because a lot of their tools, like the super conceal and that sort of thing, I feel like playing against them, you don't get to play a very engaged game. It feels a little bit like you both play your own separate games and then meet in the middle at the end.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, like plasma knives having only 3 dice now, that's less fun.
Yeah.
You get to roll less dice, you know?
Fair enough.
Okay, we're putting them in B?
B.
All right.
We're
Next.
gonna have a stacked B.
Okay, next up, Felgor Ravagers.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think Felgor has always been and will always be fun. Like it's whether it's been busted good or bad. It's such a thematic team, and I think melee combat is universally the most fun way to play
I would agree with
to
that.
play kill team. But just like an all melee team or mostly melee team that dies but doesn't really die, but it's not like Hyrotech where your opponent, it's like I can kill a Hyrotech unit and then it can come back and it's like nothing ever happened. Whereas with Felgor, if you kill them, it's like, okay, they're just going to die a little bit later.
I would say with Hyrotech, well, we'll get to that in Hyrotech.
Yeah. But like, so it doesn't have the same feels bad as Hyrotech because it's like, okay, you kill them, they still get to do some stuff, but they're dead, you're just waiting for them to die. And so I think it balances really nicely. It creates like really kind of wild, like very engaging back and forth games. I find with like huge swings. I've always really enjoyed playing both as and into Felgor. I think they're a great team. I think
the
they're
Shaman's
really well
pretty
designed.
cool too.
The Shaman's really cool. They have a plasma pistol, but it's a bad plasma pistol. Like I think it's I really like the team.
Yeah.
And so I think it's very fun. I think it's going to be A just because saving on 5s is not fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this one, I haven't played them yet, but I've read their rules a lot. This is the Blooded.
Oh, okay.
I think they're an A.
Really?
Because look, melee teams we know are fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're like incentivized to be aggro, but also sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to be cagey at first, save up your blood tokens, and then go in. But I think like you have enough expendable operatives that have consistent enough shooting with all your tricks and stuff. Like you got the blooded tokens, you got relentless for days.
Yeah.
You can make stuff happen. Even versus elites you have play, versus hordes you have some play. Like I think this team is pretty good, but not like dominating.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of really flavorful operatives, really interesting ways to like make your bad shooting not as bad and make your like bad fighting operatives actually decent.
Yeah. One thing I want to add to that too, like in terms of like making your bad shooting less bad, like relentless, I think is so much more fun than auto retains or auto upgrades, right? Like rolling the same die twice, there's still an element of danger. There's still like you could always just roll 2 1s, and whether or not you want to admit it, rolling 2 ones in a row is fun. You know, because it's like you might
It's a
lose,
moment,
but it's still
yeah.
like, come on. It's like
Yeah,
when
it's
you,
a moment.
when you in 40K, when you deadly demise yourself.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not surprised to hear that it's fun. This, like, I'm pretty sure they won the top 10 fun teams from last edition, right? So
Yeah. Like, I think they'd only
yeah.
got glow ups in the fun department.
Yeah.
So I think they're an easy A. Might even be S.
Yeah.
We'll put them low S.
I'll buy it. Yeah.
Okay, let's put them in S tier. Blooded in S tier.
Great.
Okay, this one's for you, Vic. This is Brood Brothers.
Love this team. This is going to be short and sweet. If I was considering nothing but gameplay, I would 100% say this is an S tier team. I think it's thematic. You get a big stompy lizard if you want it. Like you get there's so much to really love about this team. It's super fun. It has a lot of great tools. However, the full team doesn't come in the box. And so as this is like kind of a new player thing, and we're talking about picking up a new team, if you go to your game store and pick up the Brood Brothers box, you're missing the most fun parts of the team. And to me, that is like a huge miss and an immediate downgrade of 2 grades. So it could be S, but I'm putting it in B.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what the most fun team is? Is the Mountain Goats and 1 HP Gangsters.
What do you think's a more fun team? The Mountain Goats or the 1 HP Gangsters?
Well, I mean, we do have a Mountain Goats team, which is the Felgor Ravagers. And there hasn't been a team of all 1 HP operatives yet, so we don't know. But it does sound fun.
I mean, is the 1 HP gang kind of the Jaeger because the leader can never die before going to 1 HP gang?
I refuse to have a group of people I admire so much be a team I hate so much. So, no.
Thanks to all the patrons.
Yeah.
Should we also talk about the Mountaineers? They're a team too.
Of
We
course.
love the Mountaineers.
We do.
And you know what's another sick team? All the people that like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment on this video.
Yeah. Thanks, folks.
Next up, we got Breachers.
Okay. This is so interesting because I truly believe that fun, rating, and power level are completely independent of each other.
Yep.
And the Breachers currently are very, very bad. They're the worst team in the game. I would venture to say that they're the worst team that the game has ever seen. At least in the last 2 editions.
They don't seem very strong right now.
Like they seem like, I mean, they were a bad team that was hard to, like they were a borderline unplayable team, and then they errated 1 operative away from it.
Yeah.
So now like they just don't win games. They don't have the tools to compete with the other teams. However, I still think that the tools that they do have are fun to use, right? Like I think that they're a very thematically satisfying team. They're a little bit hardier than other like human teams, and I think that always adds to fun. Keep your models around longer and roll some more dice. So like for power level, they're like not even on the tier list, right? But I do think that for fun, you know, of course winning games is fun, and so that has to be taken into account. But I think that I can safely put them in C, even though they're like basically an unplayable team.
You know, there's a certain kind of player that loves to try their best to get wins with the worst teams, right?
This type of player.
There's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
You know? All right, C for the Breachers?
Yeah. I'm going to a tournament this weekend, and I think I'm going to take Breachers.
You should do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay, next up we have kind of another team that's not the best right now competitively. We got the Kazarkin. I'm going to put them in C and move on.
Yeah, which I think is so noteworthy because they've always been boring and they continue to be boring. So C and move on.
Yeah, they're even more boring than before because orders are more boring than elite points, in my opinion.
Just get green plastic army men.
Yeah. They're like, if you have someone in your life that's the most boring person you've ever met and they want to play kill team, buy them this team. Yeah. Okay, now we got an easy S.
No way.
Rekkas.
Oh, come on.
Rekkas are so easy S, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
And I got pooped on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I haven't played them, but orcs are never fun to me because you have to say their stupid names.
You get to roll so many dice.
Okay.
You get blow people up. You get to blow yourself up.
I do love those.
3 operatives can blow themselves up
in
this team. You get to roll so many dice when you're shooting, but also you can still somehow get hits through. You get to crump them. Big melee like punch.
All right, I'll buy it.
Easy yes.
I'll buy it.
I don't think I have to say more. You already know. Plus they're orcs.
Yeah, well.
We know you're an orc hater.
Yeah.
Your opinion's invalid. Easy yes. Okay, this one might require some discussion. Nemesis Claw.
I
think they have so many fun toys.
Yep.
But they're easy to misplay, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Look, the Ventriloquist is so fun. Even if you misplay and throw the game. I still had fun.
here's my only criticism, fun-wise, of the Nemesis Claw. I feel like some of their most fun things to do are like the worst things to do, right? Like the Ventriloquist, right? Is like, I think we can all agree moving your opponent's units is always fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, I think in like kind of top competitive lists and in competitive situations, like I bet people just don't take the Ventriloquist a lot of the time.
I
right?
bet they do. I
think
bet it's
so?
an auto take.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
I don't know.
I think they're fun. I don't think they're the most fun. I feel like in Midnight Clad is not the most fun faction rule.
Yeah, it's
But
like,
a lot
yeah,
of their operatives are fun. Vox Scream
is not
is
fun.
not that fun.
Vox Scream is not
unfortunately. High B or low A?
fun. Yeah.
I'm gonna say low A.
Okay.
I think they're fun. Plus, like less models on the board is fun.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like elites are fun. I'm gonna say low A.
Yeah. Fair
If you can get behind that.
I can buy that.
All right. Okay, this one's all you.
Okay.
The new Plague Marines.
The new Plague Marines, I think, are an extremely fun team.
Yeah.
I think they're a weird team, and for that, like, it's a little bit weird for people to play against them the first time because like their ranges are weird. They interact with your opponent's dice, which is like sometimes a bit, I was about to say dicey, no pun intended. Anyway, like I think they're a fun team. I think elites generally are like kind of a more fun way to play. Game goes faster. You can do more stuff with each guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
and so I think I'm going to put the Plague Marines in A. I think they're not S because they're too powerful, frankly. I think if they dial the power back a little bit, they could be a much more fun team because you're just going to have fewer kind of one-way stomps. But
Yeah.
I do think that they're a very fun team, and I think the models are fantastic. Wish they were easier to get a hold of, but I don't think that that's a reason not to put them in A.
I really think like once a few more months go by and people have more time to like finish their hobby up
Yeah.
and like track down these guys, I think this is going to be one of the most popular teams.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure.
People seem to love Plague Marines.
People love Death Guard. People
Yeah.
love Nurgle, and rightfully so. I think it's a great, like a great design language that has like such a clear identity in GW,
Yeah.
and it's great.
Okay, I'll take this one. I think the Tempestus Accolons.
Yeah.
Dropping is fun.
Yep.
You have crazy big guns, which are definitely fun.
Yeah.
But like your frame is kind of boring, and you don't have any like crazy stuff.
Yep.
Right? It's mostly just like guys with really good shooting guns, and they have the drop mechanic. I'm gonna say B.
Yeah.
Simple B.
Yeah.
They're fun, but they're not insanely fun.
And playing against them, I find them not terribly fun because it's like you kind of have to play against them the same way every time.
Yeah.
It's like just wait the first couple turns and then kill them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that gets a bit old.
Okay, interesting one here. Mandrakes. I think these are going to be high, right?
Yeah, I think
'Cause you
Mandrakes
get
are
to
super fun.
Zip around, teleporting everywhere. Teleporting is fun.
Teleporting is clearly fun.
Yeah.
And then like I think anytime a team is this weird, it's gonna be fun just because it is like different and it's like a new way to play, and it's a team that you kind of get to be like a bit of a kill team hipster when you roll up with Mandrakes. It's like, what are you playing? Oh, I'm playing Mandrakes. Like, oh shit. Didn't know they still had those. So yeah, like it's a cool team and it's a fun team. I think teleporting is fun. They're a great melee team. They also have the like Balefire thing, which is
With the Soul Strike?
yeah. Oh yeah, right. Which is just like, it's weird, right? And it makes you think about things a bit differently and makes you kind of do the math upside down.
Really cool models.
Great models, great team. A good number of operatives too. Like it's kind of right in that sweet spot between Elite and Horde. I love them.
I could see A or S.
I'm going to put them in S because teleporting is so much fun.
Yeah, okay. Don't have to sell me.
Yeah.
Teleporting is fun. Another elf team.
Okay.
Another evil elf team.
Oh.
Hand of the Archon.
Yeah, Hand of the Archon.
I think they got to be pretty high too.
Yeah, they're very, very fun. And they've always been a fun team, and they got a big fun glow up. Fun glow up. Yeah, exactly.
Eating mushrooms.
Yeah, like they have some excellent guns, like really, really excellent guns, especially now that AP2 has mostly gone away, like by comparison. They have access to a lot of really fun tricks. They have access to a lot of movement. They have access to great fighting. They have access to great shooting. They have access to some healing, some APL, a lot of access to APL nonsense. I think they're a very fun team. And another great thing about them is that because the agents are such a great operative now, it brings some list building fun into it. I think there's like definitely some times where you want to take one or more of these agents instead of a specialist, which I think is great. It requires a bit more models, but I can't keep talking about that. So anyway, I think they're an S.
All right, I'm not gonna argue. A lot of people seem to love this team. Yeah. Okay, one more elf team. This one, I don't know how it's gonna do.
Oh wait, is this Blades of Cain?
It's Blades of Cain.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was thinking about.
I was really thinking like one thing they do need to up their fun level is just Scorpions really need a 3-up save.
Yeah, I think if Striking Scorpions got a 3-up save, it would legitimately increase the fun of the team. The problem they have right now is that because they're such a kind of open kill team with a ton of list building potential, I think there's not enough to differentiate the Striking Scorpions from the Howling Banshees. There's not enough of a reason to take the Striking Scorpions.
Yeah.
And I also think that playing with 1,000-year-old Dire Avenger models with eyes like this is unfun.
Playing with half old models and half new models is so jank.
It's a bit jank.
That, to me, would instantly put it at Shadow Realm.
It's not Shadow Realm, but I don't think it's a very fun team. I think it has the bones of being such a fun team because there's just so much that each little elf can do. But there's so much wrong with the team. And I'm really, really looking forward to a data slate if we ever get one. Addressing some of that because I think it has some potential, but right now it's got to be I think it's D. It's
what a shame.
Yeah,
D competitively and D in fun is not a good look.
And D with S potential, which makes it even worse.
Yeah. Okay. After 3 elf teams, we have a non-elf team.
Damn.
Take a guess.
Deathcore.
No. Vespids.
Oh, I love Vespids.
Vespid Core.
Yeah. Vespid Core.
Flying is fun.
Flying is fun. The guns are really fun. They're a real glass cannon team. And I don't think that's particularly fun all the time.
Here's the big question.
Yeah.
Are communion points fun? Because they seem not fun.
Communion points are fun. I was expecting to hate it. When reading the rules before playing the team, I was expecting to really think that communion points were a nightmare, but they're not. It's just it gives you a structure and a way to play. And
one other thing is that your opponent's probably not going to keep track of all your communion requirements, so you can really easily cheat.
That's true. Cheating's fun. No, I think Vespids are a great team, and they're a lot of fun. I think they're a weird team, which I always like.
Yeah.
They look great, and I think that they're a very, very solid A.
Yeah, I can respect that. Vespids go to A.
One huge melee threat, like a Vespid Butcher, makes it an S.
Yeah, that's never happened.
It's never going to happen, of course, but, be sweet.
Okay, this one, I have a lot to say. I'm going to try not to ramble. This is Warp Coven.
Oh.
So I think this team has S potential.
Yeah.
Like Blades of Cain. So many aspects of this team just scream fun, right? You got teleporting. Yeah. You got crazy healing. You've got crazy psychic weapons and psychic powers. You've got, nerfing your enemy's guy. You've got Zangors with free mission actions.
Yeah.
You've got, really powerful guns and crazy flamers, AP1 everywhere, right?
List building flexibility.
Yeah, so much of this team screams fun. You've got the most fun ploy in the game, which is the fate dice.
Yeah.
That's the most fun and so creative game design. Such creative game design, in my opinion. However, they are so good right now.
Yeah.
They're so oppressively strong. They're Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
They just have to be Shadow Realm.
There is nothing less fun than rolling up to a kill team table and your opponent going oh shit, he's got this, and just basically being resigned to losing from operative setup.
And is it fun to only have a competitive game in 3 matchups? Half the time you're going in and you're oh, I have a 70% chance.
Yeah.
Is that fun? Really ask yourself.
It's not fun.
To some people maybe. For us,
no.
It's our tier list. Shadow Realm. As soon as they get nerfed, up to S tier.
Yeah.
But right now, they're Shadow Realm. But if you're watching this in the future, it's probably S tier. Because they're probably going to get nerfed, and then they're going to be S tier. But right now, they're not. Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm.
This is another one that's kind of in a similar boat. Inquisition. But I'll let you take this.
Yeah, Inquisition. This is such a shame because I love this team. And I really, really want to play this team more. But similar to Warp Coven, it's just too powerful. And I just don't enjoy playing super competitive teams because the opponent doesn't have fun. I feel like there's too much pressure on me as a player to deliver with, which is stupid, but it's, it's the way she goes when you're an international kill team celebrity. No, I think this team is just too good right now. But
they're not as
they're not Warp Coven good.
Yeah.
But I do think that they just they have too many tools with Piercing 2 and just too much going on. However, if list building is fun, then this must be a fun team because there's no kill team that allows for as much list building flexibility as this one, I don't think. And I think it's a very thematic team. I wish it was easier to get some of the auxiliaries. Like, you can't really get the Sisters of Silence without just buying Sisters of Silence. And that's a bit frustrating. But it's a good team, and it's a fun team. If it was a little bit less good, it would be a little bit more fun. But I think it's still like a B plus A minus. So I don't know, let's put it in B.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Well, next up we have Commandos.
Okay.
I think there's a lot going for them. They're not breaking the meta right now.
Yeah.
Which is good. The Grot is super fun.
Yeah.
Charging from Conceal is fun.
Yep.
I don't think we need to belabor this. They're orcs. They're cool models. They're chonky. I'm going to put them low A.
Yeah, A. I totally buy A. Yeah.
Okay. Angels of Death. I think this is another maybe high B, low A.
Oh, I think S.
You think S for Angels of Death?
I do.
Okay, explain.
Okay, well, not to be too glib about this, but they're Space Marines, and Space Marines are fun. If Space Marines weren't fun, we wouldn't be talking here about Warhammer in general, because they're fun because they're awesome.
People love them.
People love them, and I think...
Are we people, though? It's our tier list.
We are people, and we love them. I love them.
I mean, they are cool.
I think that it's a really flexible team, which is good. So many different ways to play them. I love how kit bashable this team is.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's got their own kind of flavor of Angels of Death team that plays them, and I think that that's a lot of fun. I had one more point that I now can't remember.
I got a point. Okay. They're elites. We've already said it a million times.
Right.
Playing elite teams are fun.
But they're not busted elites, right? Like, they're elites that your opponent can still beat, and I think that that's great.
Yeah. Unless you're Hearthkin Salvagers and you just, auto win. Yeah,
well, Hearthkin's not a very fun team.
No, they're S tier.
Well,
fight me.
Hard disagree. Okay, so next is Corsairs. Nothing to say here. They're the easiest S there is. They're a pseudo 3 APL team, but they have a ton of bodies. They have strong weapons, but they can die, and so it's not they're not oppressive. They're not topping anyone's win rate charts, but they're a really, really good team with a really clear identity, with a ton of specialists that all do something very different and very interesting and very engaging. They interact with the opponent. They give you lots of tools. I don't know. I don't know what more you people want for a fun team. They're the easiest S there is.
Yeah, I'll sign off. S tier Corsairs.
Yeah. Okay,
next we have Scout Squad. This is another team that's not the best competitively right now, I think. Mm-hmm. I think they're pretty fun. I think, worse Space Marines are kind of fun because you get to be a Space Marine, but also you're not the most OP Space Marine.
Yep.
They have list building flexibility, which we like. 9 models is less than the average.
Yep.
So I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be. They have some fun ploys. They have some tricks, but they don't have a ton of crazy stuff. I think this is an easy B.
Yeah, here's one thing for me. I think if at the beginning of the game you have to put a bunch of tokens on the board, unfun.
Yeah. B is fine with you? All right, B tier. It's funny, we're making this tier list without seeing the tier list. So imagine we have all Bs.
I think it's mostly Bs.
I think we have a lot of As.
Yeah.
Have we done any Cs? I don't think we've done a single
Creatures.
C. Oh, there was C?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we got Phobos.
Okay.
I think this is S.
Yeah, I agree.
They have lots of cool tricks, and they're Space Marines. Everything we said for Angels of Death, they have.
Plus an extra inch of movement.
Movement. Plus they have all the smoke shenanigans.
Yeah.
Obscured shots going off everywhere.
Tons of list building.
So much cool stuff. They got the Razzle Dazzle.
They do.
They got so much stuff. What is the Razzle Dazzle actually called?
Omni Scramble?
Yeah. They got so many cool tricks. The Vox Breaker is actually good now.
Yep.
Reavers are just so cool.
Reavers are great.
Easy S.
Yeah.
Hunter Clade.
Oh, Hunter Clade is such a difficult one for me. I really like this team in concept, but I've never liked it in execution, and that it still seems to take a physics degree to understand how to make a list for this team.
It's better,
but it's still too much. And there's still just too much for this team. I really wish, I think that you could do some real addition by subtraction here. Just make one profile of Skitarii, and the team would feel so much better to me.
Yeah, they're a bit tedious to figure out, I guess.
They're very tedious, but at the same time, I do think that having a mix of like some long range glass cannony guys and then the big Sicarians and a ton of different leaders to choose from. I think that's all cool and I think that's all fun. So I think that it kind of meets in the middle, and I got to put him in another B.
I could put him in B or C, but
Yeah.
if you say B, I'll go with B. The models are cool, but some of the like troopy guys
Yeah.
are kind of just a bit old now.
Yeah.
They're not like super old,
They're not
but they're
super
just
old,
kind of
yeah.
like, I don't know. Maybe just needs the right paint job for me.
Yeah.
What are we saying? B?
B. C.
C?
C for Clade.
Okay, C.
Yeah.
Okay. They used to be so good competitively. Now they're pretty bad competitively. I think they're pretty low on the fun spectrum.
Oh, you're gonna say? Oh no, you're not.
What's your guess?
No, never mind. I changed my guess because I heard your first intro backwards.
I think Gellerpox is a C.
Really?
Too many guys that don't do anything.
It's a lot of guys that don't do
the
anything.
models, in my hot take opinion, are kind of ugly. They're like trying to be funny, but kind of like not.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I just never really got their vibe. I'm gonna say C, but if you say higher, we can average.
No, all of those points make sense. Too many guys. I think like the 4 Hulks are extremely fun, but they are like 30% of the team. And
also,
so,
like damage reduction, is that really fun? No,
not really.
not really.
Yeah, C. I like it.
This is gonna be pretty similar to Warp Coven, I think. Legionary have so much cool stuff going on, but they're just too good.
Are they as good as Warp Coven?
They might be better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they're stronger, but I feel like they're not as tricky, and like your opponent doesn't feel as much like they didn't even get to play Kill Team.
Yeah, I feel like they're less fun baseline, but also even better.
Right.
So I think they're like below Shadow Realm. Can we make a like Shadow Realm's basement
No,
tier?
I refuse. I think they're more fun than that because I think that if you don't, I think with Warp Coven you have no choice but to play them a certain way.
I think they're way more flexible.
No, oh yeah, for sure. But I mean like a certain way in terms of competitiveness, right? Like I
don't know if I agree with that. But.
Whereas like I think you can play a super thematic list of legionaries, and I also think that the models are better. I don't know. I can't see Legionary being Shadow Realm. I think they're more fun than that. You know, I like.
You gonna bring them up to D?
I'll bring them up to D.
To D's nuts tier.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Novitiates
are no fun.
I think they're. I think I want to say A, but my heart says A, but my mind says B.
If you roll a die, and then it's bad, and your opponent thinks yes, and then you're like, oh yeah, no, but because of my
but you just said Relentless is fun. It's the same thing.
It's not. It's not re-rolling. It's changing.
But it's like still the same argument of like they think they got you.
No, but Relentless is different, right? Because you can fail twice. But just like changing it, I think is no fun.
Yeah, I mean, Novitiates are also like a bit too good. We could say B or C.
Yeah, I think B or C, like whatever. I haven't played against them this
Let's
edition,
say
but I've read
B.
the rules.
I think they call to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, B.
B.
B's gonna be so bloated, dude.
It is.
It's okay. That's fine. That's where they should be.
It's a bell curve.
Okay, Star Striders. They were fun before. They got more space lasers, but they did lose some of their cool tricks. Like Alucia kept some stuff. She got some new tools, but some stuff's gone. The Electromeister is easier to use.
Yeah.
So he's more fun. I'm going to say A.
Really?
I think. But they just have some plebby guys.
Yeah. Is that bad?
Like, I feel like this is one where my mind says A, but my heart says B.
Right.
Like, I feel like they should be more fun, but then I think back to when I've played them a few times this edition, and I'm like, I've had funner games. Yeah, but I did play them on Beta Decima, and that might be souring my opinion.
I feel like they'd be excellent at Beta Decima. Like, that seems like their best
Don't you remember I got roasted?
Yeah, well, I mean...
It was Legionary, and I was bad, yeah.
No, like, I
don't know. Should we say B again?
I think B. Like, I think they're an unremarkable team and not a very... I don't think I've had very many, like, memorable games against Star Striders.
Space lasers are fun, though.
See, I disagree, because it feels like there's no counterplay to space lasers. It's just like once a turn.
But there's even more counterplay than there used to be.
Yeah, well, it's still not enough. I think it's just like,
What do you want?
Like not to have a gun that can be shot from nowhere. slash everywhere. That's what I want.
All right. But that's like a crack. It's like a better crack grenade.
Yeah, well, they got rid of those because they were too good.
No, but it's like the new crack grenades.
Right.
You know, like everyone has a crack grenade.
Yeah, but they're not indirect anymore.
Neither are these.
Yeah, I know, but it's just too much. It's stupid. I hate
You have
it.
no logic, but
I don't require logic.
We can put them in B. My heart says B anyway.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we're getting toward the end here. I think we've kind of touched on this before. This one pains me, Victor. This is kind of like Warp Coven, Hyrotech Circle.
I've always hated this team and continue to hate this team, and there's nothing they can do to change that. This has never been a fun team, and it never will be.
They're so fun to play as, but there's just no downside.
Right.
Because what's the downside? They're slow, yeah, but they're not. Because, what's 1 inch, minus 1 inch, but they have the ploy where you can just dash everybody, and once they die and come back, you get even more movement.
Yeah.
So it's like their downside is actually a strength.
Right.
They get up the board so fast, there's just like no downside. I think they're just like Warp Coven. Go watch the part where we talked about Warp Coven, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're Shadow Realm, but they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Once they get nerfed, but here's the thing. With this team, it's like built into their DNA. Even if they get nerfed, will that fix the issue?
No, because being like a cringe, sweaty, competitive experience.
But that's the thing. I think a lot of people will play them just because they're cool, and not because like I played as them and I was like S tier, but then I played against them and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This one's really tough for me.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Legionary.
I think we got to put them in. Should this be our first D?
I thought Legionary is D as well. I
think should we put them in D?
I think they can be in Legionary, like a team that could be good, but are just too powerful.
It's not even that they're too powerful. It's that they're powerful in a way that's just like annoying.
Yeah, it's totally oppressive and annoying.
Yeah, D tier, unfortunately. But they might turn into S, but probably not.
I have a hard time seeing that. Yeah,
we'll see. They're fun to play as, but it's just...
you want to have a good game with them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wormblade.
Okay.
I think this is an A.
Yeah.
Jumping up from the vents or like from underground, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
They got, Keller Morph is super fun. Like all the cult agents are super fun. I think a lot of their ploys are super fun, but they have a lot of plebs. So it's like your opponent's going to get kills.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you're unkillable. So your opponent's still going to have a good time like running through you and beating you up. But you can still get stuff done too.
Yeah.
I think this is an A. I think they lack like that final oomph.
And I think that they're like a little bit too complicated to be a fully like just fun team, like
sure.
I think they've got a lot of moving parts, and it's like a bit too much for you and your opponent to both keep track of. But I do think that they're a very fun team and a super thematic team, and yeah, A makes sense.
A makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Farstalker Kinband.
Okay. Interesting. I like this team. I think this team got a bit of a glow up, and a lot of their kind of issues from last edition were addressed nicely. I think they suffer from like they are built like a shooting team that doesn't shoot very well or a melee team that doesn't fight very well. And that's kind of tough to reconcile. It's not like they have like a strength to really lean into except for hiding. But when you're playing against another hidey team, you end up in a bit of a tedious game of Kill Team, in my opinion. I hate to do it, but I think they're B.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about them is that like they have this strat where you can abuse the what's it called? The one that you can like steal an objective even if you don't control it.
Yeah. Punch.
So like certain missions, it doesn't matter.
You just can't do it.
Depending on the crit op. So yeah, B is fine with me.
Yeah.
Next up is Deathcore. D.
Yeah. Boring.
Boring. Even more boring than they were before.
Like if you really like trench warfare that much, there's a better game you should play.
Okay, next up, this penultimate team here. We got Exaction Squad. Now, I've been on record for saying I hate this team. And I have not tried them out in the new edition. But I do think they've got some... I think they're higher than they were. Right? They've got some tools that bring them up a bit. Have you looked at their new rules?
No, I continue to want to defund this team.
I think they've got quality of life improvements. And they've just got like a few extra things to play around with. I do want to try them out. I think I'm going to have to buy a second box because I still I don't have a sniper.
Right.
Like that's, you can't play this team without the sniper. There's just like some operatives that I need that I don't have. Eventually I would like to really give them a solid attempt.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're going to be B based on just reading the rules. Haven't played them, haven't played against them, but it's my tier list. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
It's our tier list. I think C.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw them in C for now, and we'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see.
Okay, the last team we're going to talk about here, do you know?
No, I can't.
Think about it.
I know, I can't.
You should know. You know all the kill teams.
Of course I do, but I
Guess.
Compendium Chaos Demons.
You got one word right.
Oh yeah, Chaos Cult.
Chaos Cult. Yeah, so they're bad, obviously.
Yeah, but I think they're super fun.
Yeah, I think this is like, it's a similar thing to Wormblade, where you have so many crappy guys that your opponent's still going to feel like they're killing stuff no matter what. Plus, they're going to probably win.
And look, if teleporting is fun, mutating must be fun.
Yeah, like this has got to be one of the more fun mechanics in the game, right?
You got a couple of Saurons on your team. Like this team has everything I want.
You know what? At first, I was thinking this would be low, but I actually think it's pretty high.
Yeah,
on the fun
I think it's a super fun team. Not an easy team to play. And if the only way you have fun is by winning, first of all, why are you watching us? And second of all, this is not the team for you.
This is kind of almost like the inverted Warp Coven.
Yeah.
It's like they used to be meta breaking, but now they got their nerf. They're like ass garbage.
Are they ass garbage?
Some may say they're not good. I kind of think that makes them so much more fun.
I totally agree. The worse a team is, the more fun you can have with it. You know.
Should we put them in A?
I think they're in A.
Okay.
Yeah.
A.
Should we just cut it there?